And we are back for another DCUO video, and today I'm bringing you an updated Munitions DPS Loadout. This power, much like Mental, Ice, Fire, Quantum, is pretty much one of those ones where you just need to use the powers, no weapons at all, so it doesn't matter which weapon you have, because I know I'll get asked that question. Doesn't matter if you use Weapon Master or not. Doesn't matter, you just need the powers. So without further ado, let's get right into the power tree. So in the guts tree, I went all the way down the left to get 50 cal. Now, a lot of people will say not to use 50 cal just because the animation and it's kind of slow. But honestly, I don't think it's all that slow. I mean, the animation itself might take a second or two, but I really don't think it's going to hurt your damage potential and output if you use 50 cal. But just remember that, you know, with this and any other loadout that I use, if you want to use this, fine. If you don't, that's fine too. You know, play around with it, see what works for you, but this is what works for me, and this is what I like. So, like I said, we go all the way down to the left to get 50 cal. We go down the middle to get Killer Instincts, which are attack buff, which will increase our might. And we want to go down to get 5-barrel minigun. Speaking of might, in this loadout, you want to spec all might, because you, like I said, you're not using a weapon attack at all. You're using just the powers, which are your yellow ticks. So you want to spec might. So the more might you have, the higher your yellow ticks will be, essentially. So in the glory tree, we went all the way down the left to get explosion. We will be using that in our loadout. And then we got big gun, which will be the supercharge. In our iconic powers, we have 2 left over. So as per usual, just get your DPS, your weapons expert, your tactical genius. Wham bam, thank you ma'am. And then as far as the loadout is concerned, we go from left to right. We have 50 cal, rocket launcher, 5-barrel minigun, big gun, the supercharge, explosion, and killer instinct. So now with this loadout, basically we're going to go from left to right. We're going to start with explosion and killer instinct. So explosion is your power interaction, and that's why we're using it first. So burning or graviton charge enemies will take additional damage. Enemies take heavy damage while bullet frenzy is active. Damage roll activates bullet frenzy when used, following 4 seconds of performing other abilities that grant bullet frenzy. So then we're going to clip that with killer instincts, which is our attacks. Attack buff grants you Eye of the Tiger, increases all damage by 40% until a hit counter resets. Also boosts your might a big. I've actually played around with this, and I'll show you that it can actually boost your might about 2,000, anywhere from like 1,200 to 2,000 points. So then we have 50 cal, inflicts burning to cause damage over time while bullet frenzy is active. This attack is a block breaker and enemies take heavy damage. You will see what you mean. So actually, as you get the advanced mechanic going and the rotation going, once you hit 50 cal again, 50 cal hits for some huge numbers. Then we have rocket launcher. While bullet frenzy is active, this attack block breaker takes heavy damage. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. And then our last but not least, we have 5-barrel minigun. Controller defect, burning enemies will take additional damage, yada yada yada. So really the loadout itself is pretty simple, much like I mentioned before, like mental, ice, fire, quantum, any of the other powers that you're using, just the powers and no weapon attack. You will be able to do some pretty gnarly damage with this. Like I said, once you get the advanced mechanic going and hit 50 cal again, you'll see what we mean here. So keep in mind too that I'm not spec'd totally for might, just because this is my main character and I usually play sorcery, so I'm kind of like a balance of the two. But so the numbers will be a little higher if you use all might in your skill loadout there. So without further ado, let's get this. So you're going to clip explosion and killer attack for killer instinct. Bam bam, thank you man. And then you're going to hit for that. Then when that loads up, bam. See, I'm hitting for like 200. Look at that. So look at the damage. So basically, one of the things you have to remember too is you're only clipping attack the killer instincts when explosion is ready. So basically, you're going to clip them, the 2 of those first, go through 50 cal, rocket launcher, and 5-barrel minigun until both explosion and killer instinct cool down. Then you're going to start the rotation again. So literally, you're going to get up close. You're going to clip these 2. you're going to go through these. So, you know, I'm hitting for like 200,000 damage. We go here, and then we're waiting for Killer Instincts to cool down. So we're just going to go through these again. I'm hitting for some massive damage. And then you're going to clip those again. And then you're going to hit that. And then you're going to hit that. And then you're going to hit that. So, I mean, really, this is really freaking easy. But you can hit for some pretty decent numbers. Now, I wouldn't say that Munitions is necessarily like a top-end DPS power, but in all honesty, though, it holds its own. It does pretty well. So as you see there, I'm hitting for like 260,000 there in one case. So then we do that. So I mean, as you see, I mean, you can hit for some pretty freaking gnarly numbers here. I mean, even just normal going through like 5-barrel minigun stuff, I'm still hitting for like 70, 80, 90,000. Now, obviously, if I was like a top-end CR, like 190, these numbers would be huge. But I mean, as you saw there with the 50 cal, you're hitting for, you know, 200,000+ damage. So once again, we'll just go through and look at that. Even in that case, 50 cal hit for 190 some thousand. So I mean, yes, maybe it's a little slower, but honestly, it's worth the wait. Kind of like how Time Bomb is with Quantum. Like, it might take a second or two for it to get like going, but once it does get going, like, you're hitting for some damn huge numbers. And then you, whoops, I didn't clip that right. And then you go this way, and then you go this way. So I mean, you're hitting, like I said, you're hitting for some damn good numbers here. Oops. Oh, look at that. See, 192,000. So I mean, look at that. That's pretty gnarly. So if I was a higher CR and had spec totally for might, these numbers would be huge. But I just wanted to show you, like, Munitions can hold its own. You know, this power can definitely hold its own. I wouldn't say, like I said, it's top tier, but it's up there. It's right on the same playing field with ice and fire. Obviously, top end DPS right now is like sorcery, earth, that kind of thing. But like I said, this holds its own for sure. So, like I said, if you want to use this and play it, fine. If you don't like it, by all means, you don't have to use it. Like I said, this is just what works for me. I think it does pretty freaking good damage, in all honesty. So, like I said, if you want to use 50 cal, you can. If you don't, you can too, because, like I said, there's some people that don't like using 50 cal just because it's slow, quote unquote. But like I said, it's no slower than if you were Quantum and using Time Bomb. It's worth it in the end. Waiting that extra second, it's worth it to get that hit of like 200,000 damage. So, with that being said, guys, that will conclude this video. So I hope you enjoyed it. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe for more DCUO content on the channel. Episode 28 is coming soon. And until next time, guys, we'll see you soon.